the Dogs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
What's up, Browns fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Dogs Podcast, another Dog Pack Discord preview episode previewing the upcoming game against the Bengals. I didn't call it a loss because even though my brain and my heart say loss, Joe Burrow doesn't usually beat us on the road. So maybe there is a football god. He'll be looking down upon us this week and we can get a victory. So we'll see. We're going to preview the upcoming matchup with the Bengals with all of these Dog Pack members. We're going to get their thoughts on the game. They're going to ask us some questions and all that good stuff. So if you ever want to be a part of an episode like this, you think this is a cool format, you want to get your thoughts on the show, head to jointhedogs.com, become a Dog Pack member. Then you can be a part of these episodes. You can talk, come up on stage, be a part of the episodes, give your thoughts on the upcoming matchups. You also get to just hang out with us all during the week, play fantasy football with us, all that good stuff. So if you want to be a part of it, again, that's jointhedogs.com. I'm going a little backwards since we're doing a Dog Pack Discord episode. If you want to just get intros and voicemails on the show, you can head to thedogspodcast.com, tap leave voicemail. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Make sure the notification bell is tapped so you don't miss any content we're putting out. You can just listen to this show on Apple, Spotify, and Google, and you can find us on all the major social media platforms. Just search at the Dogs Podcast. Obviously, big matchup against the Bengals. I don't even know if I want to talk about this game because you guys might not know this, but the Guardians just walked it off in the 10th. I literally screamed it. I whisper screamed because my child is trying to fall asleep, and then I came in here to record. So I'm like cloud nine, I'm tingling, I'm thinking about good, happy thoughts, a winning organization, and now we got to talk about the Browns.
That's the most upbeat we've been for a Browns podcast in a while, man.
What was that, Josh?
The most upbeat we've been starting off a Browns podcast in a while.
It just, team of destiny. Like, Noel, I know this is way off topic. Noel had a .067 batting average in the postseason. I was telling my wife, I was like, this guy, for every 100 times he's been up in the postseason, gets on less than once. That's not even possible. And then he hits a no doubt about it Mark McGuire-ish home run into the bleachers. Just team of destiny. Here we come. F the Yankees. On to Browns football now, I guess. Here we go. So obviously upcoming matchup with the Bengals. They historically, at least since Joe Burrow's been there, have struggled against us. Our defense always seems to kind of have their number. So hopefully it's more of the same. And for the Browns offense, it's just, can we get going, especially now without Amari Cooper? So let's see who wants to come up on the stage. What do you guys want your thoughts on the show? Any questions for us? Who's coming up first?
Yep, get those hands up down there in the audience.
Bye.
All right, well, while we wait.
I guess while we're waiting.
Go ahead, Blake.
While we're waiting for hands, I guess I can say, is there anybody who's going to get the lion's share of Amari's targets? Because even though he wasn't having a very good season, leading the league in drops, he still got targeted, like a number one. Who's going to get those targets?
Jerry Jeudy. I think he just kind of slides into that.
Jerry Jeudy, yeah.
I think they're going to try to get Njoku the ball more too.
Well, as Kenny always says the whole way back through training camp and preseason, that's all we do is throw to the tight ends and the running backs. So you'll probably see Pierre Strong. I don't know. I haven't seen an update on Jerome Ford as far as his hamstring injury. But if he's not able to go, you're probably going to see more passes to Ford and then, probably Njoku.
All right. Looks like we got a hand.
Yep, we got Truth. Come on up, Truth.
Okay, guys. Before we start depression, let's get some positive things out of the way. One, let's go f***ing Tribe. First off, let's f***ing go. Second of all, Nick Chubb's f***ing back. How about that? F***ing Nick Chubb. He's going to run 150 yards, have 4 f***ing touchdowns. We win the game. Joe Burrow and his f***ing whatever Slim Shady hair. Okay. Also, we're getting a new stadium, boys. We're getting a new stadium.
Yeah, we are.
That's all I have to say. Positive thoughts. Let's go.
I freaking loved it. First of all, it's so awesome. The new stadium news is pretty exciting. I know we've talked a lot about that. It can be a separate topic sometime, but I am very pumped about the new stadium. Obviously, the big news this week: Nick Chubb coming back. How much of a workload do you think he's going to get?
8 touches.
Yeah.
8 touches.
Max.
I don't think it's going to, I wouldn't, I'm very tempered on expectations. I think I would not be surprised if he ran like eight times for
let's say 45 yards. And I'm not talking shit on him. It's just, I think we have to be reasonable and have serious, reasonable expectations. The dude's leg was snapped in half last year.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Foreman or Pierre Strong or whoever's, filling in for Ford get a lot of the in between the 20s work. And if Chubb's getting any sort of heavy utilization, will probably be closer to the goal line. If, we get that close, we don't really typically get into the red zone or anywhere close to the goal line. So I don't know if he'll have an opportunity, but that's kind of where I could see him getting maybe a couple extra carries that we're not expecting. If, we're on the 3 and he gets like a 2-yard rush and they're like, run it back, get him another carry or something,
I'll be honest, I don't know what to expect because he's over a year out from the injury now. He's supposedly, good to go. So are you easing him back because you're worried about wear and tear too much too quick, or is it more of a conditioning factor? Like he's obviously probably not going to be in game shape right off the rip with no training camp and all that good stuff. So I guess I feel like it's going to be this is maybe what the plan is, and then maybe if seems like he's struggling a bit, maybe it doesn't. We don't get to that, and maybe if he's having a good game and we're doing well and he seems okay, maybe he gets a few extra carries. I feel like they're definitely coming in with a plan, and then it'll kind of be like we can adjust accordingly. At least that's the way. If I was coaching, that's kind of how I would do it.
Well, I mean, I feel like they've come into every game with a plan, and it never really works. So you're right. We'll see what ends up happening.
I do know a goal for the offense should be to get a first down with Deshaun Watson on the field. The Browns are 0 for 26 on their last 26 third downs with Deshaun Watson.
Ugh. That's
0 for 26. So like goal one, we're talking playoffs. We're scaling it way back. We're talking touchdowns. No, we just need to get a first down first.
Convert a third down, please.
Yeah. All right, we got a couple hands.
Yeah, we'll bring Tony on up.
How you guys doing?
Good, man.
Yellow brother.
Good. Very good.
I know. Yeah, Guardians win. It's the only thing that's saved me for this weekend. So let's keep it going. So I have I have a theory in my head of what I think I would like the hope to see on Sunday, and I think my theory kind of goes with it as well. Is I think on Sunday, in terms of the offensive playbook, I would imagine we're going to maybe see more big personnel packages. And if that's not the case, especially with all the injuries, just more under center running the ball, because losing Amari Cooper now puts you a little bit more in a hole to wide receiver, because James Prochet, I wouldn't consider as much as a wide receiver as he has been in the past. He's a returner by heart. You have Tillman, Elijah Moore, and you have Judy. I'm excited to see what Thrash can do, but I don't know. Obviously, no one knows the playbook, so who knows if even a rookie knows the playbook at this point in time. But I wouldn't be surprised, especially with how good we ran the ball against Philly last week, which, not saying that Philly's defense hasn't been up to par, because it hasn't been all season, but that's a scary front seven when you look against them and the success that we had running the ball. So I have a theory in my head that we can see that. Not saying that we're going to go in to win on Sunday, but I can see us being a little bit closer, because if we're able to run the ball, the clock will be a little bit more manageable, and it might not be a blowout like some people think it is. It'll be a lot closer. I don't know what your guys' takes on that.
I do think the Bengals are giving up 146 rushing yards per game. So, and I think you saw the Browns kind of go more under center, especially in that second half last week, and kind of get back to some more of their old running philosophies, not running out of shotgun quite as much in that second half. I would continue. I would look for that to continue. Losing Amari Cooper, this wide receiver core was already not performing well. You lost Amari Cooper. You could make the argument now, this might be one of the worst wide receiving cores in football. Like Amari Cooper, especially Amari Cooper that was playing well, I should say, was kind of the glue that held this wide receiver core together, that took them from arguably one of the worst to at least like a pretty competent group, because he requires so much attention. He's such a good route runner. Like, then Judy can be a good 2 off of him. If you're asking Jerry Judy to be your number 1, I just don't think that's a very good wide receiver core. So, they're going to have to lean on the run game. Like they're going to have to be committed to it. And that just does not seem to be what this offense wants to be this year. Even if we're only getting, 3 yards a carry, you have to be committed to it. We talked, Kenny and myself talked on our solo episode about Kareem Hunt, and everybody's talking about how great of a game he had when he got to the start for the Chiefs last week. He averaged 3.8 yards a carry, but he got it, I think, 22, somewhere like mid-20s. They were committed. He wasn't ripping off big chunks. He wasn't gashing them, but they were committed to it. And because of that, they were able to do other things off of it. And you're able to establish a physical part of the game. You get your line going. You get to establish a little bit of an identity early in the game. I think it's super important to come out and get a run game going against a team that gives up 146 rushing yards a game.
This episode is sponsored by Leaf Filter. Browns fans, whether the team is winning or not, you are the most die-hard, loyal fans in the league year in and year out. And just like you, Leaf Filter has been supporting clean gutters in Northeast Ohio year after year. And because Leaf Filter is the official gutter guard of the Cleveland Browns, they have a limited time offer for all of you barking dogs. Right now, you can get up to 32% of your entire qualified purchase and 2 free official Browns jerseys at leaffilter.com/dogs. Now, I don't know how many of you have ever cleaned your gutters, but it's a tedious, messy, time-consuming chore. So cut down on your weekend home maintenance, cross off another item on that to-do list so you can spend more time watching football on your days off. Leaf Filter uses award-winning patented technology to keep everything out of your gutters except for the water. Schedule your free gutter inspection today for a free no-obligation estimate on protecting your home from flooding, roof damage, rotting siding, foundation issues, and all those things you really don't need to be dealing with as a homeowner. A Leaf Filter trusted pro will clean out your gutters, realign and seal them before installing Leaf Filter. Schedule your free inspection now, and for a limited time, get up to 32% off your entire qualified purchase and 2 free Browns jerseys at Leaf Filter, leaffilter.com/dogs, DAWGS. That's a free inspection, up to 32% off, and 2 free Browns jerseys with a qualified purchase at leaffilter.com/dogs. Offer valid on a first-come, first-served basis while supplies last. Full terms and conditions can be found at leaffilter.com/dogs. See representatives for warranty details. Absolutely, I agree. And then on the other side, like for them, I was looking up the stats, and they're one of the top passing offenses in the league, but they're bottom in rushing. So like they don't run the ball very well. So, if we took away Saquon Barkley last week, and that's one thing we didn't mention Saquon. I don't even think we said his name on our reaction show on Monday because we were just so, focused on other things with the Browns. But on the positive side, I mean, Saquon was having massive games, 100+ yard games against everybody this season, and they come out of the bye and face us, and we held them to 43, I think, or something like that, yards.
There's some, it was pretty low.
If we can just shut down their run game, make them one-dimensional, I mean, they're still very good at that one dimension, but it does limit what they're able to do.
I think we'll see a steady diet of Chase Brown. I feel like in training camp, you got talks of him like kind of maybe being the better back, and then you've kind of seen them like week after week, he's getting more and more involved. And I feel like after the Zach Moss fumble last week, Chase Brown kind of took over, and I don't think he's going to give it back. So I expect us to see more Chase Brown than Zach Moss in that department.
And he's definitely their more electric speedster type of back. And on our side, I just looked, Jerome Ford has not practiced yet this week. So not looking good for him. I'd expect him not to play. Right. All right. We'll get Peter R up here. Go ahead, Justin.
Go ahead.
No,
I think if you're just one thing that Tony said with the wide receiver room, I guess if there's a benefit, there's not really a benefit in trading Mari, but I guess you get to get a good look at Cedric Tillman and like some of the younger guys, like you said, Jamari Thrash. But as far as Cincinnati goes, they have Trey Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard. They can get some pressure. I know that is their weakness on defense. They can still get home, especially considering what we've seen so far.
We haven't
I think Trey Hendrickson's. Go ahead, Josh.
I would say we haven't had fewer than 5 sacks in how many weeks now against us? So I would imagine they can get 4 at least against us.
Well, I'm pretty sure I heard in the Eagles game, they only had like 4 or 5 sacks entering that game on the season, and then they matched the season total, I'm pretty sure, against us. if I
Excellent.
remember correctly.
Cool.
And I think Trey Hendrickson's one of the most underrated edge rushers in football. This he's top notch. Like he's Myles Garrett, Max Crosby but he's maybe like right below them. Like he's very, very good, very consistent. Like he's not somebody you want to toy with. He'll wreck your game. So
didn't he 17 and a half sacks last year, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, monster numbers.
So maybe, I mean, he's up there. He's in the upper tier of pass rushers, in my opinion. And I feel like he gets overlooked. So we got to establish a run game. Like the only way to negate some of that is to establish some kind of run game.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Peter, we got you up here, man. What's going on?
Hey, man, look. All right. So against all stats and everything, I really feel like we're going to win this game on Sunday. One, it's the Bengals. It's a division game. It's our first division game. It's in Cleveland. They know what it is. I think the factors for this game is going to be our secondary and our run game. Everyone knows Nick Chubb is coming back. We ran the ball pretty well last week. I think that's only going to get better. And Jim Schwartz today just publicly called out his secondary as being garbage. The corners have been playing like garbage. He did that last year with the D-line, and they lit it up for the rest of the year. So I'm really hoping they can pull it out for this one game because this is the last shot. You lose this one, that's it, dude. You're done. So I really hope they can get it done. I think they will. Not enough to bet on it, but I'll put it out here.
This is if you want to test your secondary and you want to call them out and tell them they need to come out and have a good game. I mean, this is the game to do it. Joe Burrow's got 1,500, almost 1,600 yards. He's completing almost 72% of his passes, 12 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. So, I mean, like their offensively hasn't been the issue for the Bengals, especially the last few weeks. It's been their defense is just atrocious. Their defense is almost as bad as our offense. So it's like weakness against weakness and strength against strength this week. It's which weakness is going to have a bounce back week, I guess is the way you could look at it. That's the team that's going to win. I'm nervous because their weakness is defense, but the strength of that is their pass rush on offense. Like we can't handle a middle school rush this season. So that makes me nervous.
Dude, we've faced some bottom tier defenses already and haven't been. I mean, the Eagles secondary was giving it up. We couldn't do anything. The Commanders, everybody does whatever they want to the Commanders defense, not us. So that's why I'm with you, man. When I look at the Bengals and I'm like, okay, the defense is bad. Like we could put up some. Oh, wait, never mind. What am I talking about? You know, I kind of get going and then I'm like, no. Don't get excited about putting up yards or points or anything like that. I mean, when did we hit 20 this year?
That's just what I was going to ask you guys. Do you guys have any optimism that we get past 20?
Past it?
Or to it? To it or over?
Not a whole lot of optimism.
Take that as no chance. Okay. All right.
I mean, you got to think it's going to happen at some point, but then again, like Blake was saying on Monday, the schedule after this game just gets really, really nasty. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, if you I'll just real quick. I don't know if Kenny's got his hand up, but
yeah, I'll bring him up after
you
you're
look
done.
at the schedule after this. It is no more bottom tier defenses. Okay, you go Bengals. It's Ravens, Chargers. The Saints is maybe the softest defense we play in this stretch. And then it's Steelers, Broncos, Steelers, Chiefs. Oh. Like the Chiefs are undefeated right now, and it isn't because of their offense. Mm-mm. Their defense for this season and last year, and maybe it's been sneaky underrated. Like when you think Chiefs, you think Kelsey, Mahomes, Andy Reid, all that good stuff. Their defense is dominant. It is dominant. Like it is going to be a struggle the next 6 weeks to get to score points. If we were a good team,
it's kind of criminal. Chris Jones doesn't get more recognition. You know what I mean? Because he's elite.
Yeah.
All right, Kenny, come on up.
What is going on, guys? Man, I'll tell you, as a Blue Jays fan, watching the Tribe today was unfreaking real. I had such a blast watching baseball for the first time in like 2 years. That was a great game. One thing I gotta wonder though, as far as Jimmy Haslam's concerned, when am I going to pay $230 million not to see my quarterback anymore? Because he's got to be sitting there going, my God, this is what I paid for. I can't even hit 17 points. Like, it's brutal. And that's the biggest discrepancy in this game. I think we're averaging 15.5. They are averaging 28, yet they're only 2-4. So that's what's going to make it super tough for us. I do agree with Peter R., though. There's something about when they come to Cleveland, we play just that much better, and they play that much worse. I'm feeling really good about the injury list, though, and I know every week we get on here and we say, hey, you know what? Our list is like triple the other team. It's quadruple the other team. However, right now we're trending towards only 2 people. You already mentioned Jerome Ford. The other one's Hickman.
Yep.
Those are the 2 that haven't practiced so far. Everybody else looks like they're trending in a good way, or it's an injury that seems like it's playable, right? And I got a really weird hope though, and it's my hope for Deshaun Watson. My hope is like when OBJ went down for Baker, I'm hoping that maybe he was just forcing too many balls because it was like 50 or 60 balls he forced his way, and we had 24. Maybe that just opens up the offense, and maybe he starts to see everything because he's not looking for Amari first. Because you know how that season went. We ended up 11-5, and we made the playoffs, and we had a great run. The only difference is we had Jarvis Landry. I think I don't agree with you a little bit on Nick Chubb. I think it's going to be 5 touches a half. I think he is going to get like 3-4 carries and probably 1 or 2 balls thrown his way. You know, like something along that line. I'd also like to see a bit of a screen game. I don't know. Maybe I just had the strong beer right now. Am I forgetting, or have I not seen any screen games? Or since Stefanski's been an offensive coordinator, have we ever had a good screen game? And my last point is Swartz and Vitrone, they're not throwing it in. We're going to win a game. Let's go Browns.
I think early in Stefanski's tenure here, like his first 2 seasons, I thought our screen game was decent, especially some tight end screens to Njoku and stuff like that. Is Hines playing this week? He's been full participant, right?
Yeah, he's been full both days. So yeah, we should be seeing him.
That could be a boost to the offense, especially if Kenny, you want to see some screens. I mean, he's a great receiving back and stuff like that. So is Hines like an all-world running back? No, but considering what we've been putting on the field at running back this season, any help we can get from somebody who's like fast and can see a hole and can catch out, like that's going to be huge and help the offense. I was looking, you were talking about our points per game. So just real quick, unless I'm forgetting, we had a garbage time touchdown against the Cowboys. We had a garbage time touchdown against the Commanders. I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, that's our only 2 garbage time touchdowns. If you take those out, we're averaging 13.5 points a game.
Yeah, and then Rodney McLeod's touchdowns.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Then you could take out his. So it's less than that. It's under 13 points a game. And I saw a thing that it was comparing. It was comparing our 2016 season with this season's offense. And we average about a point more a game than we did that year because of a defensive touchdown and a couple garbage times touchdowns. But yards, third down efficiency, we're way worse, like significantly worse in every single category than we were on a team that was led by Deshaun Kaiser. Who are our receivers? Was it like Corey Coleman? I mean,
yeah.
Like, and this team is somehow worse. I don't know. It's mind-boggling.
I'd rather see Deshaun Kaiser at this point because I know we could do the tush push real easy with that big freaking dude, man. Like that guy could get 1 yard. I know he could.
Yeah, man. You're talking about that team versus this offense and everything. Isn't this the most expensive offense in the NFL?
Yeah, it is. And it's $190 million, I believe.
So disappointing. Hey, Browns fans, even though the Browns kind of suck again, there's still plenty of actual good, real football that you guys can watch this season, and that's where Underdog Fantasy has got you covered. Win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite player stats, for example, touchdowns, passing yards, and more. Honestly, you can still have fun with the Browns. I mean, Deshaun or whoever's playing quarterback, their touchdown line will probably be like 0.5, 1.5, something like that. So, hey, pick the lower, and it'll get you there more times than not. But anyway, the Underdog app, it's easy to use. I've been playing fantasy sports on Underdog for years. I play a ton of best ball on there, and this higher, lower stuff, the picks just adds way more fun to each and every Sunday. Making picks on Underdog is straightforward, and signing up is even easier. Just head over to Underdog's simple-to-use mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, and Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code DAWGS, to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer. Must be 18 and older, 19 and older in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 and older in Colorado for some games, 21 and older in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP, 1-800-639-8783, or text NEXT STEP to 53342. New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
And again, it's like I said, like, when does Jimmy say, like, I've had enough? I'll pay to get rid of these guys. Let's get ETR, let's get anybody out there that can throw a ball, step up in the pocket. And I mean, I get it. The offensive line has been bad, but there's a lot of times where Deshaun either needed to plant his foot and let it rip and he didn't know where to go, so he bailed, or he just didn't step forward in the pocket like Matt Stafford does every single time, and then just throws a butte to whatever receiver that's like doing a crosser.
Tell you, for his mental state, he has to have good game this week, because as a lot of Browns fans have talked about, if he is bad, like very bad, he's going to be on the shortest leash. I already think he's getting booed. If they introduce the offense, he's getting booed.
Yep.
You know, you know what I mean? Like, I think he's coming into an insanely hostile environment. Yes. And the only way that's going to be, you can make that go away, is he's got to come out early and complete some passes and go down and score a touchdown and look good, because he's going to get every incomplete pass, and anything he does, he's going to get booed. It's going to be, I think it's going to be ugly. Maybe I'm overstating how mad people are, but I truly feel like it's going to be ugly if anything he does wrong. Dude, I mean, if he looks sideways, he's getting booed.
Justin can attest to the last home game when we were up there week one, when there was still hope and expectations for this team, he was getting booed partway through that game when things didn't go well. So what do you think it's going to be like, Justin?
I can tell you that I thought it was going to be, I've been saying for a couple weeks now that, like, I thought they brought Nick Chubb back on purpose for this game, just so it wasn't, completely negative right off the bat. I can tell you that I thought for a couple weeks I was nervous about what the crowd was going to be like, and then you just trade away Amari Cooper. Now, whether we agree or disagree whether that was the right move or not, we've all had to explain to our kids all week why the Browns suck, and now we're trading away their favorite player on the team. So I think every parent that has been defending the Browns all week, now they have to defend their team to their children of what they're doing. I don't think anybody's safe this week. I think if they show Jimmy's face smiling at a charity event on the big screen, people are ripping him. I don't think that it's going to be a good environment at all. I think the intros are going to be electric. Everybody's going to get excited for Nick Chubb. I'm going to do a hot take. I think Ozzy Osbourne's going to smash the guitar this week for the Dog Pound captain. They're doing a big rock and roll Hall of Fame thing. Foreigner's playing at halftime. So I said, hey, I'll stay and watch Foreigner, and then I'm probably going to get the hell out of there before, it's a complete riot. So it's an older rock band, guys. Kenny, can you help me out here? You know what I mean? Do you know who Foreigner is?
Yeah,
I know Foreigner.
Cool as ice. Yeah. They're long way. Come on. I'd see them. Yeah, hell yeah. I was in Cleveland this weekend.
I think it's going to be a nasty, nasty environment, and I mean that in a not good way for as many times as we say that Cleveland is a tough place to come in and play, it's usually a tough place for the away team to come in and play. I don't think that it should be the home team is on edge coming to their own stadium, but it'll be nasty.
Well, I feel like we're going to get our first 7 points. I'm just not sure after that, as we've got the first touchdown 4 out of 6 games, right? And after that,
I don't think you can announce the offense as your player intros because I think that would be bad, but they're going to want to announce Chubb. So
yes, they're going to, yeah.
I wouldn't even be shocked if like they did the defense and then like they brought Chubb out by himself, like out of the tunnel last. You know what I mean? Because I just don't think you can't bring the offense out. It'll be, you don't want that. You don't want that on TV. You don't want that in your home stadium. Like it's going to be bad.
You're telling me people are going to lose their minds when they're like, Michael Dunn. Nobody's getting completely lost and losing their minds already.
No.
I do think that they'll get very, very excited for Chubb. I think Chubb, especially after you read that letter and everything, I don't know how that dude doesn't have a soft spot for everybody to the rest of his life. I thought he already had cemented his legacy as an all-time Cleveland Brown player. And, you read that as like a diehard Browns fan, you're just like, who's cutting onions in here? Who's doing this? But I'm very excited.
It'd be unreal if he had a Raiders game because I know he's like on a touch count, but if he goes off, 5 touches, he's got like
2 touchdowns,
5 yards. Yeah, and I know I'm being unrealistic at this point, but right. a boy can dream.
Absolutely, my friend.
All right. Well, is there anything else specifically Bengals game related, or you think we've pretty much covered everything?
I think I was just going to say.
I would say the only thing is that our secondary seems to own that receiving core. These guys are on fire this year. Jamar Chase is averaging, I think, the most he has in a while. However, against the Browns, he doesn't average a lot, especially in Cleveland Stadium. I think it's under 60 yards a game. And I also think he's only scored a touchdown against us, 1. But back me up on that. I'm sure Cincinnati fan will be all over it. So
T. Higgins, a rough start to the year and had some injury stuff going on. And, people were kind of chattering that maybe he was holding out not holding out, but staying out with a hamstring injury on purpose. He's came back and been electric, kind of having a very, it's quiet, but a quiet, great season so far. Their offense looks great. It's going to be very tough to handle.
He's putting on a good audition to be a Cleveland Brown.
For the Chiefs. Oh, okay. Well, that's exciting, I guess. I would take him. Absolutely.
Hey, luckily for us, our owner can afford to make a $230 million mistake and build a new stadium and still pay new players. The Bengals can't afford any of that. So
yeah, not until 2027, my friend.
Yeah, so I guess that's where we got the edge on them. We'll see, but they come in here at 2-4, but they've been playing some decent football on the offensive side of the ball. And if they get a win, it can go to 3-4 based on their late season runs the last few years. You got to believe they think they can make a run still. So, and the Browns just traded their number 1 receiver. So I feel like the teams are coming into this game with completely different mindsets on the season. I'll be curious to see how the players come out and play, because to me, trading Amari, you're admitting that you aren't on pace to hit your goals. So are the players have the players mailed it in yet? That's kind of like what I'm curious to see. But we don't have many hands in here. I think we've pretty much covered everything. It's getting late. I want to go watch some Guardians highlights. I need the hammy calls. I said inject them into my veins. I need them. I gotta go do that. We appreciate you guys being here, hanging out with us, previewing what could be. Maybe we'll get a win. At least it'd be good to get a win for Nick Chubb. But until I see us do it, I'm not picking us to win. That's what I said a couple of weeks ago, and I'm staying true to that until I see us break through. But we appreciate you guys being here. Big shout out to all Dog Pack members who jump in here, help us do these preview episodes, give us their thoughts. Again, if you want to get on the show sometime, just head to jointhedogs.com to become an official Dog Pack member. Hang out with us, get on the episodes. We appreciate you guys being here. Go Guardians, and we'll see you guys Monday, hopefully maybe talking about a Browns win.
Go Browns, go Guardians. Let's go. Go Tribe. Go Tribe. Sorry. You're great. Roll Tribe. Look what? Roll Tribe. Yeah, that's it.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at the Dogs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedogspodcast.com.
This episode is brought to you by Danger Coffee. Browns fans, we talk about how Danger Coffee is made free from mold toxins that are in 45% of the world's coffee, but that's not all that Danger Coffee has to offer. Mineral and nutrient deficiencies are a big deal. They make you feel sick, tired, stressed, and they can give you brain fog. These deficiencies negatively affect your immune system, your digestion, sleep, metabolism. Have you ever wondered why you get an initial burst from your coffee, but then you get that little crash not long after? Danger Coffee's patent-pending process remineralizes your body with more than 50 trace minerals and electrolytes, leaving you more energized, engaged, powerful. These micronutrients enter the cells to boost performance. They bind to toxins to provide detoxification support. I know that sounds like a lot, but the bottom line, guys, is minerals matter, and most of us really don't get enough of them on a daily basis. Danger Coffee delivers micronutrients, plus it gives you access to the minerals you already have. Head to dangercoffee.com, use our code DOGS, DAWGS, for 10% off your order, and that code can be used over and over, so you get 10% off every order you make using code DOGS. It's time to start every day off with a cup of coffee that gets you going and actually keeps you going. dangercoffee.com, code DOGS.